I don't know about any of you, I'm allowed to make jokes like that because I used to be a really good little provability kind of physicist, scientist, show me the data kind of researcher. And then I had a powerful near-death experience. It was powerful because it lasted 4 years. 4 years. And then McGill University gave me a diploma for it. Have you ever had a near-death experience like that? Maybe a BA or a BSc? And I joke about it. I really value my degree, and I value some of the clear thinking and the rational mind and the research that was involved there. And yet I think it's a higher truth, because part of me was really dying. Maybe my empathy skills, maybe my intuitive side, dreams, the whole emotional connection, social skills. And as you can see here, not just exploring 2 realms there, like you just saw. I was also a canoe guide, very physical, grounded guy in the world, exploring rivers and whitewater rafting, and big swimmer, top 200-meter breaststroker in Canada for my age group when I was 12. So very grounded, worldly kind of guy. And on a weekend, I guess a fateful weekend during my degree, I actually fell off the back of a raft, whitewater rafting in Quebec City. And I didn't have time to gasp for air, kind of a surprise submersion. And there I was, stuck under the raft. Imagine the cold, swirling water with silt, I can't really see anything, bumping into the raft. And then all of a sudden, the kind of fight and flight, get the air, dissolved into this really simple, single thought, wow, I guess this is it. Right now, I'm dying. Okay, actually, this feels good. This is surprisingly, and this rich peace that came with it. And I don't exactly remember what happened. I guess the guide pulled me out. I rafted the rest of the day pretty much as normal, except for that nice, rich, deep peace. But I did notice, as a good little scientist, I started remembering up to about 10 dreams a day after that. And I only had maybe 1 a month before that. So I thought, this is strange, but I noted the data. Wow, sometimes into lunch, past afternoon, and even into following days. Strange new information. And when I started tracking them, I saw I was having very accurate precognitive dreams. Wow, it's possible to dream things that will later come true. How many people have dreamt something that later came true, or a premonition in their life? Look around. Research shows 2 out of 3 people have had a dream that they feel has come true in their life. And with more, I guess, a little tougher constraints, they had to tell someone or write about it or show somebody beforehand. And it was a pretty rare event. Actually, 1 in 12 people has had a fairly verifiable precognitive dream. But I didn't know this. Strange stuff. How many people knew I was going to ask that question? Oh, okay. No precognitive talk-goers here. Then I started having lucid dreams. Wow, it's possible to be fully conscious and aware in a dream in real time while my body's sleeping in bed? Strange. They didn't tell me this in physics class either. That actually life, physical existence, is just 1 station on the dial? Okay, wow, this is new. But, like a good little scientist, I started exploring. First in the home lab. There's a younger Craig there exploring the home lab. Trying with friends, family, different experiments, and later in my life. And I had the great blessing and honor and privilege to actually end up at Stanford University with the pioneering lucid dream research at Stanford. An incredible time, lots of media. I designed a dream induction mask to help people have lucid dreams sold worldwide. Lots of amazing things that I wanted to bring to more and more people. So I guess I returned to Montreal, where I was from. Continued the research. There's Craig practicing his swimming in dreams. And I decided maybe I could start a nonprofit foundation to help bring some of this, it seems to be helpful info to people. Some of the things I was trying and exploring, research, and that's what I did. And many beautiful events happened after that. I guess one was I had this powerful vision dream. If I really show up for it, if I act on the dreams, like I'm going to encourage you today, if I don't just ask, hey, what do my dreams mean, these weird, strange dreams, but if I ask, hey, what do they want? So think about that. A different question brings different results. What do my dreams want? In this case, I woke up with a vision dream. I could be speaking all around the world at talks like this, or to students, or sometimes on the media, and a beautiful feeling with that dream too. Or perhaps I could be even performing music and sharing more artistically some of these gifts life is blessing me with. So, acted on the dream, and you can see that it's been paying off in many, many beautiful, rich ways. A little while later, I ended up in Sigmund Freud's outer meeting room, I guess where psychoanalysis was born, when he invited people over to discuss dreams. And that was part of a world tour that I was blessed and had the privilege to go on to speak about dream empowerment to media worldwide, and many, many millions of people. So I showed up for a dream that brought some pretty rich, fulfilling results, almost as I dreamt them. So I want to kind of give you a little framework here. We're talking about kind of leadership versus time management as a canoe guide, which I enjoyed for many years. Time management or management level would just be, we got to have swerve around the rocks, and we got to have the best paddler and learn the right skills and everything. And the leadership kind of CEO level would be, hey, let's make sure we're on the right side of the river. Let's scout it out. Or maybe we don't even want to run this rapids. And this is the level dreams can often speak from, if we listen. Imagine 5 minutes in the morning where we kind of get daily priorities. I'm going to show you some powerful examples here. And it pays off. First, in the laboratory of my life, as a canoe guide, people love seeing moose. In Canada, that's a big thing for canoe trips. And so I said, why don't we dream on it? Because it was kind of rare. Maybe if you're lucky during the week, you might see a moose. So we dreamt on it, and I dreamt of my first grade teacher, Mrs. Bigger. Spelled with an A, kind of like that there. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, because during the year, Mrs. Bigger actually got bigger and bigger in my first grade. She got pregnant and had a baby. So that's kind of fun. And I noticed on the map, oh, wait a minute, there's a Bigger lake, spelled with an A, like that. Not too far. A couple hours away, we probably wouldn't have gone, but hey, what does the dream want? Let's paddle over to Bigger Lake. And we did, and a super rich moment happened. We saw Mama and Baby. Look at that, just like the dream. Mrs. Bigger, 2 moose, Mama and a baby. And a really rich, remarkable moment that was fun and fulfilling, and also started growing my trust in this process. Wow, maybe if I act on more and more dreams, bigger things can come. So I started working with clients. It was a real blessing and a privilege to lead teleclasses, sometimes all around the world. It can be anywhere and anytime, so that's kind of a neat freedom that I've grown. And this one woman wanted to have a powerful relationship, successful in business, toured around the world, but wanted to have a relationship that wasn't really there, and that would bring her a lot of fulfillment. So on the first dream of the teleclass, the first week, she saw a bunch of roses, maybe just a single rose, a vignette, a single image dream. We worked with it, femininity, love, relationship, roses, opening, blossoming. Kind of symbolic, we didn't know, but she had that, and she worked on lots of letting go and different emotional, release, and different changes in her lifestyle during that 10 weeks. And then no relationship, but on the last class, she started laughing. laughing, and I wasn't making any jokes. But don't forget, it's a teleclass, and I can't see. And I said, what's going on? She said, well, you won't believe it, but during the class here, while we're talking, I'm getting roses delivered onto my desk, because I'm actually at the office. I didn't have time to go home. And there's about half a dozen roses here. And we learned that by the end of that class, she had a dozen roses and a whole new relationship in her life from a coworker that she had no clue was actually even interested before that in a beautiful relationship. So maybe not world-shaking, but for her, super fulfilling, guided by dreams and by showing up for her dreams. Another person I worked with was a big triathlete, and he wanted to break through in the races, because in his training he always had tons of success, sometimes even beating the top winner times. But in the races he didn't seem to show up, and I said, let's dream on it. So I think it was the third night he tried this special kind of DPS. You know the DPS? It's kind of like a GPS, but it's a dream positioning system. Helps get you to your destination. Turn left. In this case, the dream said, his coach came and said, hey, you know what? If you get sports massages during your training time, you're actually going to remove lactic acid from your muscles. It's building up because you're doing so much training. And I know this great masseuse and so on. And he came to me and said, I can't tell my coach this dream, but it seems related. He'll think I'm weird. I said, well, don't tell him the dream or that you dreamt it, but just ask him, is the info valid? Is it a good idea? So he did, and his coach said, I can't believe I didn't tell you. Actually, probably you're getting lactic acid buildup in your muscles, and I know this great masseuse because I used to get it during my training. And it turned out to be the same guy, and I'm happy to report, following his DPS, ended up as the New England Long Course Championship a few weeks later, and then ended up in the Hawaiian Ironman, kind of the World Championship, 5 times. Interesting payoffs in different parts of our life. So as a sharer of ideas and a passion to share some of these gifts life has blessed me with, I was invited to write for a magazine in Australia. I sent some pictures because there was talk about, at the time of Inception, you remember that movie? That maybe there's a cover possibility here, we can get you on the cover, send some photos. So I sent some, and they said, we don't like that. The photos don't look too good. It's good for my ego, right? But I had a powerful dream one night, get a beautiful green background, I saw myself, and a nice new shot, and send it in tomorrow. Kind of one of those TNT, today, not tomorrow, dynamite kind of dreams, which I did. And I'm happy to report success, cover shots, and not for my ego, but for sharing some of these ideas. I got to maybe practice what I'm preaching about, Inception. Did I dream myself onto the front of the magazine? Who knows? But at least a fulfilling moment that I think inspired a lot of people. I got emails that the articles touched a lot of people. So now that I'd practiced a bunch, I guess life called me to the next level here. The low-hanging fruit were bitten off. I woke up with a dream. I'm on the green carpet interviewing James Cameron, you know, the director of Avatar and Terminator and some other big movies. I was like, wow, maybe symbolic, my inner director, and going big. And then I looked on Google, which is a good little technique for dreams. You know, Google it, see what's going on. And James Cameron, tomorrow, green carpet, Los Angeles. Wow. Maybe this is one of those TNT. And I asked, what does my dream want? And the intuition was, even though I didn't wake up with $500 or a plane ticket, I don't know if you get that when you wake up, but I did. I bought a ticket, and there I was on the green carpet the next day. And as life would have it, kind of a magical doorway, ended up interviewing director James Cameron. An interview which led to, I guess, an even larger interview on about 400 radio stations, where I had the privilege to have James share his two dreams, actually the two dreams that inspired the movie Avatar. Most people don't know. His mom dreamt of tall blue warrior people. And James was really inspired. He wrote a short story about it. That was many years before. And then he had a powerful dream of a bioluminescent forest and a glowing river. Sketched it out when he woke up and included these two elements in the poster for the movie and got the #1 selling film of all time. Sure, lots of work. Lots of man hours and lots of devotion. But imagine the seed came in a dream. And also a Terminator, his kind of breakout movie, came as a chrome skeletal figure rising from a fire. So interesting that James' two key movies here, or two of his big movies, directly seeded by dreams. Here's another gem.
Ever heard this song? Scrambled eggs. Oh my baby, how I love your legs. The gent who awoke with this melody thought it sounded really familiar, so he checked with friends and colleagues to see if anybody had ever heard it. Well, they loved the tune, and they usually laughed at the lyrics, but nobody had ever heard it. So after about a month, he claimed it and developed it. It wasn't until quite a while later, on a trip to Portugal, that, again, he awoke inspired in the middle of the night with the title clear in his mind. Maybe you've heard the song.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
So clearly dreams have a powerful creative potential. And though they might not make the millions McCartney did, wouldn't you like to explore your dreams a little bit more and find out just what might be possible?
Yes, I would. And so did many other artists here. We have different artists, inventors, a few examples here. They're going to go kind of quick, so check them out. Talk about this dream. $230 billion later, Larry Page dreamt the key idea that inspired Google. A new way to download the internet and make a better search engine. Wow. That dream paid off. Avatar, Terminator, the TV show Extreme Makeover. Came in a dream, the idea. Twilight. Stephanie Meyer woke with a picture of a couple in a meadow, and one of them a friendly vampire. Wrote a novel, and later became a movie. Billy Joel says he dreams much of his music, lyrics, arrangement. Other dreamers here, we have Sting, who actually goes as far as to say any artist who doesn't include their dreams as part of their creative process is throwing about half of their creative gifts away. Wow, thanks, Sting. He had the dream of the Blue Turtles. Remember his first solo album? So he's allowed to say these things. Alfred Hitchcock, a few less people know him over here, actually used a lot of the scariest archetypal nightmare themes from our culture and from worldwide cultures in his films. He consulted with Salvador Dali, not too many people know. A big dreamer himself, Dali would often use kind of dream images that he had, sometimes from strange techniques like eating sea urchins and things that inspired his dreams. And he helped, I guess, Alfred Hitchcock have some pretty scary terror horror movies, because that was Hitchcock's thing. Other creative dreamers here, we've got Stephen King, used some of his nightmares in his novels, big author there. Not too known by her picture, but her work, Frankenstein. Mary Weiss Shelley got the inspiration in the dream. Wow, paid off here. Thomas Edison had a power napping technique. You often kind of stay on that wake-sleep border and get some neat creative insights. And he actually developed the kinetoscope, which many people don't know, but it was one of the precursors for the movie camera. So dreams kind of inspired these public dreams that we call movies. Interesting, huh? And here we have our great being, Mahatma Gandhi, who actually dreamt on the time when they were trying to break free of the British rule that the first resistance act of a peaceful revolution would be to have a hunger strike, Hartal, it was called in India. And he published it in the press, and they had a nationwide hunger strike. But on that day, and I guess many times throughout the next 30 years of a big movement, eventually freed India from British rule. So a powerful political dream. Jeff Taylor, Monster.com, #1 job site on the internet inspired by a dream, where he actually woke up with a kind of cool interface, and actually this little icon that they use for monster.com. He sketched it out after waking up from his dream. So a big payoff dream there for Jeff. And then a little less known, maybe you can't see too clearly, Nina Barrow woke up with a powerful dream, kind of on that, a little bit after waking, kind of running by her eyes, of women running a marathon with their bra outside their shirt. Okay, that's interesting, and a beautiful feeling associated with the dream. Very important thing. She decided to act on it, and went to the New York Marathon and invited friends, and at the last minute the friends weren't too keen, and I guess interest was waning a little bit, and she said it was about 50-50, but I decided, yes, I'm going to follow the dream. She participated, which she said was very serendipitous, because 2 months later, after that marathon, she found out that she had a lump in her breast, and she had breast cancer herself, but had no clue when she followed the dream. And I guess she was grateful for the treatment she was able to undergo. They raised a lot of money, now about $120 million raised by the Walk the Walk Foundation that she created. Again, all inspired by a dream. Impressive stuff from some amazing dreamers. That's a bridge into the medical realm here for medical students. And we can see here the Greek god Asclepios. You might not have seen him, but you've seen the snake around the staff, which is one of his trademarks, in the medical symbol. You can see it here in the World Health Organization, AMA, Greek, Canadian. And that actually comes from dream healing temples, a few hundred of them placed all around the Middle East, where for about 16 to 1800 years, people would come on pilgrimages, long pilgrimage, to have healing dreams and solve health problems. So the origins of that are acknowledged with the snake around the staff, and also in the Hippocratic Oath, which physicians take when they, I guess, decide to sign up for being a doctor. You know, by the physician Apollo, I swear, by the god Asclepios. Wow, powerful stuff from traditions that not too many people know about. Inspiring dreams that can prove us, and I'd like to show that what's going on here. How is it we can dream things that maybe come true later? Well, maybe, my belief is, we can actually speak to ourselves across time. Interesting thing. If you could speak across time, what would you tell yourself in the past? What would you say? And if we can speak across time, can we do like the Pharaoh did from the Bible and follow the guidance of Joseph? And Joseph said, yes, your dream, Pharaoh, means 7 years of incredible abundant harvest, but then 7 years of super bad famine and pestilence. So save up the grain, save up the meats, and we'll save millions of lives. And that's how it played out. So imagine if the leaders of our day, not throwing out logic, but included their dreams a little more. Wow, we could have some pretty cool transformation here. Which brings us to perhaps the most informative part, or the most important part, nightmares. And I say, nightmares? Lucky you. For example, Mimi. Mimi learned about lucid dreaming. Here's a little shot with an overhead view of Craig's brain. Here, a lucid dream, kind of with my nose to the front. And you can see on the right here, the activity is a little bit lower in a lucid dream. I'm kind of present. I know I'm safe in bed, but I'm in the dream. As opposed to a nightmare where there's lots of activity, fight and flight going on. And Mimi loved lucid dreaming, and we liked the idea because she had a recurring chase dream, always being pursued. She learned it. She said, I'm going to try something new. So in her dream, she said, I was being chased again in a car, and I ran into a parking lot, and I saw the pursuer again right behind me. But I tried something new. I remembered, oh my gosh, this is my dream. I whirled around and said, this is my dream, and you can't hurt me, to the pursuer. And the pursuer said, what? I don't want to hurt you. I've been running after you all this time to tell you I love you. But you've been running, so I've been chasing you. What? Yes, it's true. And he kind of took her hands, and the perfect psychological integration dissolved into her body. And she said 3 things, very practical. I woke up feeling great, energized, as opposed to tired and a ruined day. Second off, I started adding a little more assertiveness, maybe not running away so much in the office and my personal relationships. And also a big gift, I never had the nightmare again. Wow, nightmare's lucky you. So maybe it's kind of like the oil lights on our car. Yeah, unpleasant, a warning though. Listen to it and avoid an unpleasant future, right? Maybe listened. Maybe she realized it's not just a scary bug or a hideous insect or a terrible nightmare. Maybe it's a bug in my thinking. If I look closer, maybe it's something that could turn into a powerful metamorphosis, a gift in my life and a gift for others here. So I like to practice what I preach. In fact, I've based my whole life mission on the quotes or an understanding I have from Carl Jung. Because a reporter asked him, Dr. Young, we have wars, unrest, famine. Are we going to make it on Earth, world peace? He said, well, I can't tell you if we're going to make it, but I can tell you how we'll make it if we make it. We'll make it to the exact extent. It's really mathematical. No more, no less. To the exact extent to which each person just integrates their own shadow, faces their nightmares, maybe gets free of their addictions. Simple things. You don't necessarily have to be Gandhi. Maybe you'll end up following your vision dreams and be Gandhi's mom. You'll still contribute your gifts to the world. So, in my home, I try to practice world peace because world peace begins at home, right? From the inside out, facing our nightmares. You know what those are? You guessed it. Can I advance the slide here? World peace. You'll forgive the bad joke. I'm just trying to inspire you guys to record your dreams. Ask, what do they want? Maybe look at your nightmares. And I guess like the vision dream that's now becoming manifest with talks like this, I'm really grateful to be acting and talking and living what I encourage people to do here. I'm leading a teleclass in Thailand where I received the email to be invited to TED and speak and share. So I wish you great vision dreams. Hope you act on them. Ask what they want and manage your time by some of these key priorities. And if you're lucky, I wish you some beautiful, happy nightmares.